Hey everybody, Kyle here. I'd like to talk about Richard Prince. If you're not familiar with Richard Prince, he is an appropriation artist who will take something someone else has done, modify it slightly, and then present it as his own original work. Recently, there was a lot of controversy over how he was taking Instagram images that other people had posted, just adding a comment, blowing it up, and then selling it for $90,000, and of course, people are furious. At the time of reading it, I was upset by this myself, and I decided to use Instagram to show off my thoughts on the issue. A lot of people were made very furious over this happening. Appropriation in art is still something that people have an issue with. In the past, appropriation was seen as fighting the good fight because we'd have things like Andy Warhol doing the Campbell soup cans, where it was this young little guy going after the big rich guys, and it just had this young punk rebellious attitude that was pretty nice. But now it seems like it's the establishment picking on the defenseless little guys. That's what appropriation has turned into, and I think that's the real issue that is triggering that anger in people. Starting with postmodernism, artists have really talked about democratizing the art process or in the art world, and what that meant is everyone can be an artist, everything is art, blah blah blah. This is a part of it. This is a consequence of that. In the past, painters would do landscapes because when you went outside, trees and nature and waterfalls, that was your natural environment. Now that more than half of humanity is living inside dense urban environments, buildings and streets and cars and traffic lights, all that are part of our natural environment now. In fact, when you have public billboards and signage and trademarks and ads, those have become part of our natural environment as well. And in my opinion, it would be totally valid to use a prominent McDonald's arch or Tim Hortons coffee thing in the background of a painting, because that says something about the culture we're living in and our environment, and that's important for art. So appropriation in that sense, I have zero issues with. And as much as it angers and pains me to say this, I kind of have to agree with Richard Prince, because social media has become another part of our natural environment, and everybody is posting everything, and nobody is reading the terms of service. By law, when you create something, you own the copyright to it. If it's a photograph or a painting or whatever, as soon as you're done making it, you own the copyrights. When you upload it to Instagram, if you actually read those terms of service that you probably didn't, it mentions that you're giving them a license so that they can use that photo for whatever they want. And if you look really carefully, they can even license that out, and other people can use your photos. These kind of images have become our natural environment. You're posting it to the world for the public to consume. Content is not a rare, precious thing. I'm sorry, but no matter how good your sunset picture is, there's a million better sunset pictures out there as well. And right now, the big problem is a curation problem, and that's having voices or having established figures coming out and picking things out of the noise and declaring, hey, this is art. So I really have difficulty finding this different than Marcel Duchamp putting a urinal and signing it and saying, hey, this random thing that somebody else made, I'm placing it in the context of art. It now has incredible value. Richard Prince is just doing the same thing. And I'm curious why everyone is so pissed off about him doing it. But whether it was Duchamp or Warhol or any of the other older appropriation artists, why is that fine and Richard Prince seen as not fine? So if you have a good answer, please let me know, because I'm confused on this. I don't like what he's doing, but I still think he's kind of right, and that attitude bugs me. So somebody please set me straight on this one. All right, it's Kyle signing off.